We've spent 10 modules together building a case for consciousness as a participant in reality, but now we have to do something harder. We have to turn around and look at the shadow. The side of this work the New Age marketplace and the motivational speakers would rather you ignore. I've watched this philosophy hurt people. From shaming the sick to dismissing the poor, real harm has been done in the name of liberation. This module is where we tell the whole truth. It's not comfortable, but that's how you know it matters. By the end of this module, you'll be able to identify the 7 primary shadow patterns that distort these teachings. You'll articulate why creating your reality becomes ethically dangerous when applied to victims of systemic injustice or illness. And you'll learn to distinguish between genuine insights and the distortions that produce bypassing and harm. We'll apply a privilege audit to your own stories, separating effort from structure, luck, and consciousness. Finally, you'll practice compassion as the central response to suffering, rather than the diagnosis so many teachings favor. We begin with 3 essential questions. First, what are the ethical and psychological dangers of manifestation philosophy? Every powerful idea has failure modes. We're going to catalog exactly how this one breaks when it meets the real world. Second, how does you create your reality become you deserve your suffering? This is the engine of harm, a small logical shift from agency to desert. We'll trace how that shift happens and why it's morally repugnant. And third, what happens when manifestation meets privilege, illness, poverty, trauma, and injustice? Most success stories ignore the invisible backpack of privilege. We'll look at where the philosophy collapses under the weight of real-world conditions. In Section 2, we answer these questions honestly. The danger is when a true insight becomes a totalizing claim. It's a leap from participates to dictates, and that leap is exactly where the casualties are produced. Psychologically, the claim is toxic. If you believe you create your reality, then suffering becomes self-indictment and deep shame. Section 3 works through the 7 shadows. These aren't edge cases. They are the straightforward implications of the totalizing version. Shadow 1. The victim-blaming problem. Telling a child with cancer or a survivor of violence that they manifested their trauma. Shadow 2. The privilege problem. Mistaking structural advantage for metaphysical power. We'll audit what's actually earned versus granted. Shadow 3. Spiritual bypassing. Using high vibrations to sidestep grief, anger at injustice, or necessary therapeutic work. Shadow 4. Magical thinking. The dangerous line between consciousness participating and thinking your way out of biological reality. Shadow 5. The narcissism problem. Where you create your reality slides into the world revolves around me and others become props. Shadow 6. Consumer spirituality. The industry that sells simplified techniques while blaming your failure on your own mindset. And Shadow 7. Epistemic closure. A system where if it works, the teaching is true, and if it fails, your vibration was off. In Section 4, we ask what's left. A great deal actually, but it's the ethically mature version, humble and grounded. The ethically mature position holds that while consciousness may participate, ego is only a small part of the process. Structural conditions, biology, and genuine mystery participate more decisively than individual intention. Reality meets us. It does not obey us. We'll draw on Barbara Ehrenreich, John Wellwood, and Mitch Horowitz to provide a rigorous context for the shadow work. The practices here are unusual. They are shadow practices designed to dismantle rather than build. Do them slowly and honestly. Practice 1 is the privilege and manifestation audit. It's about becoming honest about what you actually know from your own life. Practice 2, the shadow of desire. Asking what discomfort or wound you are trying to avoid through external acquisition. And Practice 3, meta for the unchosen. Directing compassion toward those the manifestation philosophy most often blames. Your assessment involves a substantive essay on the ethics of manifestation and an honest written audit of your success stories. The test is simple. Would you say you're teaching to a child with cancer? If not, something is wrong with the teaching, not them. Having looked at the ways it breaks, we return to the practice with clear eyes in Module 10. This module clears the ground for it. Compassion, not control, is the final word. I'm James Sageman, and I'll see you in the shadow work. May you achieve all the abundance and joy you desire. Discover more at thegreatworkplatform.com.